I am a senior account executive at eCompete Solutions. I usually provide these videos, these Amazon tip videos, without a webcam, but this time I do have a webcam because I want to express that this is by far the most difficult thing you can do on the Amazon platform. If your account gets suspended, to reinstate it is it takes a lot. So if you do manage to get your account reinstated, it is a big thing. And this is what this video is about. I'm going to provide some tips on how to reinstate your Amazon account when it's been suspended. So getting into the document that I have here, at the top, you'll notice that I have a message here that says these tips are not for everyone, because this what I'm about to say is not going to work for everybody, because if your account has been suspended already once and this is the second time you're trying to get it reinstated, it will more than likely not be reinstated and it'll just be gone. If you're engaging in illegal activity, for example, you're selling something but you're not actually selling whatever it is that you're saying you're selling. You're just a drug dealer, and you use the Amazon platform just to send orders. If Amazon catches you, you will more than likely not ever get an Amazon account back. If you're engaging in clear unethical activity, there is more than likely no path back. Nothing I say is absolute, so maybe there is a path back, but I'll give you an example of unethical activity. Maybe you open lots of different businesses, lots of different companies, and you have an Amazon account for all of those businesses. And then Amazon realized, or they found out, that the IP address that you have for all of those businesses come from the same place. And you have like 10 sellers on the same detail page, but they're actually all you. That's clearly against the Amazon terms of service, very, very against the Amazon terms of service. And that might be a large enough violation that there actually is no path back. These steps are more for people who thought that they would do things a certain way because they saw someone else doing it and they got the idea and they're like, oh, this is a pretty good idea. For example, maybe selling an item that is very much restricted, and you thought you saw some other people selling it because for some reason they got around the system and you wanted to try and do it yourself, but then you got hit with an IP violation, intellectual property violation, that your account got suspended. So these are cases when you didn't really want to get your account suspended. You thought you were doing a cool kind of thing that nobody else knows, but it's actually very much against the Amazon terms of service. And you realized, or you learned the hard way, oh no, I can't ever do that again. So this is more for those type of people that realize that they made a huge mistake and they want to do everything that they can to reinstate their business because it is their business. And these are the tips that I have for you. So number one, be as detailed as possible on your violation. What did you do and what did you include in what you did? So I want it to be as vague as possible. Sometimes this step one doesn't really apply to everything. So for example, if you sold products that were protected by intellectual property protections and you started selling it, but you got an IP or an intellectual property violation, and you got a lot of those, because typically if you get one, you don't get suspended for that, but you got a lot of those. You have to be as detailed as possible on that violation. You have to say, well, I bought this product from this person or this company, and I was selling this, and I was knowingly against the Amazon terms of service. One thing I will mention, these steps are for people who are admitting something wrong. If you feel like you didn't do anything wrong, more than likely you're going to have a hard time proving that with Amazon. You'll have much more success just admitting that you did something wrong. So if you did do something wrong, these are steps are for you. Which ASINs were affected by your violation and what order IDs. So in this instance, you can go into your Amazon account, let's go with the example of the product that was protected by intellectual property protections. What ASIN did it have? What ASIN were you selling? Right? You have to include that in your message to Amazon. What ASIN were you selling? What order IDs happened? Right? If you can't get all of the order IDs, you should mention that. There were 100 orders and I can't get all the order IDs. These orders were from September 1st to October 1st. I don't know, something like that. So step 3, provide an example of your violation. Can you take a picture of it? So in this instance, if you were selling something that was restricted due to intellectual property restrictions, take a picture of the item and then give it to Amazon so you can see it. Number 4, remove your entire inventory and have the removal order ID to prove it. This may seem costly, but it's probably a lesser cost than just losing your Amazon business as a whole. You have to determine this, of course. But if you're, again, let's go with the example. If you're selling something that is against, it has intellectual property protections, and you're selling it and you got under the Amazon system for some reason, your account has been suspended, you got suspended, make sure you remove all of your inventory. So once you remove all of that inventory, bring it back to your warehouse, you're going to have to pay the removal fee. It might be substantial, but if your account gets reinstated, it might be worth the cost, right? So just make sure you have that and provide the order ID to Amazon so they know that you removed all of your inventory and you don't plan on ever selling it again or whatever it may be. Removal of the benefits you received from your violation. So this one's very vague. So in the instance of, let's say the product that you're selling that's against intellectual property protections, let's say you're selling that, what would be removing the benefits? Well, removing the product entirely, never selling it again. That would be removing the benefits. But if you have something else like reviews that you got because you were breaking review rules, you should try and get those reviews removed. And that would be what Amazon wants you to do. Number six, you have to write a plan of action. Steps 1 through 5 aren't really part of your plan of action. They're just things you send to Amazon. Step 6 is the part that you write, the plan of action. There's 3 parts to a plan of action. There's the root cause. There's the corrective measures that you're taking to make sure you correct the issue that happened because of what you did. And then the preventative measures. So, every root cause is different. So the root cause, you were selling something that was completely against the Amazon terms of service because it has intellectual property protections. Corrective measures, you have pulled all of the inventory from the Amazon warehouse, pulled all of it, and it is now at your warehouse. You cannot sell any of it. Preventative measures, train your employees to never sell that product ever again. Train whoever it may be, just flat out lose the contact from your distributor. I don't know. I'm sure you can think of many different things for preventative measures. And step 7, demonstrate that you have read the Amazon policy on your violation. This part's pretty important. So you have to read the policy in accordance to what your violation was. Amazon wants you to tell them that you understand what the policy is. In addition to, hey, you screwed up, they want you to know what the actual policy is. So you need to demonstrate it somehow. So you can say something like, well, rather than sell something that has intellectual property protections, I started selling a more generic version because the Amazon policy says that generic products are allowed because of whatever. So you can say, well, the Amazon policy states this is allowed, so I'm going to do this now instead of selling the other product that's against the Amazon terms of service because of intellectual property protections. And then step 8, just make sure that you write a quick and straightforward message. All the steps that I just mentioned, it's a lot, right? So make sure it's just quick, straight to the point, no fluff at all. They'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry about what I did. No, just straight to the point. We sold this. It was against the Amazon terms of service. The policy states this. We will respect this. We pulled the inventory. Here's the order ID. Just go boom, 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 every single step. Very, very quick, very, very easy. This will give you the best chances of getting your account reinstated as long as you follow steps 1 through 8. If you do fail, and you get a rejection, try again, but you have to have different wordings, okay? If you keep sending the same thing, same words, same images, same everything, they will flag you and they will stop reading your messages. But if you keep on changing the wording, let's say you follow steps 1 through 8 and you got denied. They said, well, your account is going to continue being suspended. You try again, but you redo the whole thing. You send some of the same images that you sent before, maybe some new ones, right? And then you put some new information, or maybe take away some information to make it simpler. I don't know, but just make sure that it's quick and straightforward, and this will give you by far the best chances to get your account